A viewer from area code 651 texted us asking what would cause lilacs to bloom in September. And Joanne from Ellsworth, Wisconsin also sent us this photo of her blooming lilacs through the KARE 11 app with a similar question. Lilacs and other spring blooming shrubs can sometimes be tricked into re-blooming when warm fall weather comes after a cool down or after a stressful summer. Earlier this month in Grow with Care, we talked about a lilac fungus that was widespread. That's an example of stress. Drought and flooding are also possible causes depending on where you live. There's nothing to do about it except enjoy them now. Sometimes fall blooms can lead to less flowers come next spring.